Welcome into the Greg Colby Show. Domenic Panza for MSBN, and I'm joined by Millersville head football coach Greg Colby. Coach, a big win last week. You take care of Gannon. They're no longer unbeaten, and you've won 2 games for the first time in a row since 2005. It's got to feel great.
Oh, yeah, that was a big win for us. We talked to our guys early in the week about how important the game was and maybe a program-defining game for the year, although we've still got a long way to go. But we felt this was a game that we had to really step up and perform as well as we possibly could, and to give us a chance to play, because we felt Gannon was a strong team coming in, had a 6-game winning streak coming in. So, yeah, it was a big win.
So let's pick things up in the second quarter. That's when the scoring began, and it was you guys. Jamal Smith, PSAC Player of the Week. He started things off, an acrobatic catch, 37-yard touchdown. Tell us about that play.
Well, you know, again, I happened to miss the beginning of it, so I just looked up as I saw him in the end zone making the catch, and it didn't surprise me. Again, it's just another one of those things we're starting to expect from Jamal, and for Billy to get the ball to him, and he's done it all three games and continued on Saturday, and you know, we're dependent on that passing game on Jamal and Matt Egenreiter and Dominic Sanders, and now Mike Jones is in the act too. To keep us going offensively, and it's done that for us, and hopefully it'll keep doing that.
Second touchdown, Greg France, 9 yards out. He is an acrobatic tight end. Tell us about him, that touchdown, and a 14-0 halftime lead.
I tell you, I've been saying for a couple of years that I think Greg's one of the better tight ends in the league. You know, just from an all-around standpoint, he's physical, he's a great blocker, he's smart, he knows what he's doing, gives us a lot of flexibility. You know, he plays our H-back. He's a fullback for us. He catches the ball really well. And now that our pass game is you know, executing a little bit better than it has in the past years, you know, he's getting in the act a little bit more. And he made a great catch on that play. He got himself open. Billy scrambled to his left, and you know, Billy's doing a great job of finding the open receiver when he is scrambling. And Greg made a great leaping catch, and you know, it didn't surprise me he did it. But again, it was nice to have it happen.
You knew Gannon was going to make a charge in the second half. They did that immediately, and Boddicker is such a good quarterback. He did it with his legs.
Yeah, and you were waiting for that to happen, and you know, I probably made a mistake to remind our guys at halftime, hey, that, you know, they've come back 2 weeks in a row, and that's the kind of team they are. And go back out, and immediately they come back and do exactly what, you know, we were afraid they would do, and it was with Boddicker running the ball, because we knew that was the biggest threat that he posed to us. And you know, we made some mistakes in the way we were playing, you know, on those couple of plays, and you let him get out in the open, and you know, it's Katie bar the door. And luckily it was only those 2 plays, you know, for him. And luckily we were able to gather ourselves, you know, after they scored the 3 times, and kind of settle down a little bit and come back and start playing better defense. And you know, we played great defense in the first half and kept them off balance. And second half we were able to respond and come back and give our offense a chance to get the ball back and bring us back in the ball game.
So you're into the fourth quarter now. It's 26-21. Gannon's leading. 4th and 18. Bill Shirk comes up with a huge play and a big catch by Mike Jones.
I tell you, you know, the feeling on the sideline when we got I think it was a sack that led to the 4th and 18, and you know, we're looking at that and said, well, this is last chance. You know, we got to make this play, and chances of making this play are very minimal. It's tough to make 18 yards on any play. And then when, you know, the ball was snapped, and I saw Billy scrambling again, you know, and got himself open, and he just threw the ball up in the air. At least it looked like he just threw it up in the air, and I just closed my eyes and said, oh no, don't do that. Then I looked up expecting it to go to Jamal. And I see Mike Jones, you know, leaping up in the air as high as anybody on our team or more, and made a great catch. That had to be probably the biggest play of the season.
And even though that play was so big, it would have meant nothing had you not been able to score. Talk about the rest of that drive and finally Bill Shirk scoring to take the lead for good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe the very next play or the second play after that, Billy again rolls out and he throws a strike to Matt Egenreiter down on the 1-yard line. Again, Matt's kind of quietly adding up a lot of yards, and he has a big impact on every game that we've played. And you know, everybody's looking at Jamal, but I tell you, without Matt, we wouldn't be where we were either. So, you know, that was a great throw again by Billy to put it in there between 2 defenders, and we got the ball on 1-yard line. Now we're feeling pretty good about where we are, and the fact that we've got some time And in fact, I was telling Coach Mangle, hey, can we stretch it out a little bit and score with about 5 seconds to go, and not, just kind of take our time. But at that point, I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that we were going to score, and then start thinking about going for 2 at that point in time, to get it back up to 3 points.
They were able to do that. They were also able to come out with a victory this past Saturday over Gannon, 29-26, a good defensive and offensive performance. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back after the Marauder play of the week, we'll catch up with Greg Colby a little bit more, talk about this game week number 4 against Bloomsburg. And now it's time for the Marauder Pride play of the week. This week, it's the Millersville Marauders converting on 4th and 18. Bill Shirk hooking up with Mike Jones, a 30-yard completion.
On this 4th and 18, in the shotgun, Shirk back to pass, biggest play of the game. Shirk rolls wide, he winds, he fires over the middle, complete pass to Mike Jones. The Marauders get the first down and a little more. The Marauders are still alive.
And this has been the Marauder Pride play of the week. And welcome back to the Greg Colby Show, MSBN. I'm Domenic Panza. So now it's Bloomsburg. Things don't get any easier for the 2-1 Marauders. Tell us about the Huskies.
No, I tell you, Bloomsburg is one of the great programs in this league, and they're strong again this year. I'm not sure they're as strong as they were a year ago when they went 8-0 before they lost their first game. But they're a team that they've got a philosophy, and they're gonna follow that philosophy no matter what year it is, no matter who they have, and you know what they're going to do, and they just line up and say, if you're better than us today, you can probably beat us, but if you're not, we're going to beat you, and they just line up and go. So it's kind of refreshing. It makes the game planning a lot easier because you know exactly what you have to stop or what you have to attack. So from that regard, it's an easier week preparing. But it's a more physical week because they are a physical football team, both sides of the ball. And again, we've got to step up in that department in all areas, and we've got to execute, and we've got to be physical to have a chance to win this ball game. It's going to be another good ball game.
The key for the defense, for your defense, may be stopping their running game. Franklin Quitte's averaging almost 150 yards rushing per game. What do you plan to stop him?
We're going to try to get as many bodies as we can to him to tackle him because he is quick, he is fast, and they do a great job blocking for him. Again, they only run about 4 plays, and they just run them over and over and over again. They execute them as well as you can. So we've got to execute on our side of the ball as well as we can. We've got to be in our gaps. We've got to be gap sound. We've got to be playing downhill and attacking him as much as we possibly can and getting as many people to the ball as we can. And if we can do that, and if we can limit their run game, it's going to give us a great chance in this ball game.
And Mike Vervantage, 33 tackles, a bunch of those solo for the Bloomsburg defense, and they're only giving up 19 points a game. But on the other hand, your offense has been pretty efficient this year too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup watching our offense against their defense. And again, they're a physical defense. They don't try to get fancy. You know what they're going to do, and they just line up and dare you to try to run the ball, dare you to try to throw the ball. And I think, with our pass game, hopefully that'll loosen up the run game a little bit. And we'll have a little bit more balance this week. But I'll take him any way we can get him. If we can put it in the end zone through the pass game all day, I'll take that if we can do it.
4th straight week, you're going to be at home of 5. I'm sure that's been feeling pretty good. Plus, there's been a lot of fan support so far.
Yeah, it's been great crowds, and they've stayed in it, and it's really helped at the end of the ball game. That having the crowd support that we've had is big. Our guys notice it and they appreciate it. And being at home obviously has been, I think, a plus for us. To find ourselves as a team, you use the first 2 or 3 or 4 games to see exactly where you are as a team and where you're going. And I think we're starting to get a pretty good idea where that is, and being at home really makes that a lot more comfortable and easier to do.
So continue to show your support for the Marauders this weekend as they take on the Bloomsburg Huskies. Join us all at Millersville's Beamsturfer Stadium in Christ Field as Millersville goes for win number 3 in a row. My thanks to Greg Colby. This has been the Coach's Corner, and I'm Domenic Panza for MSBN saying we'll talk to you soon.